Red Rumble!
What a great football season for Rocky Long and the San Diego State Aztecs, and on our final broadcast of the year, calendar year, thought let's make sure we catch up to Coach Long, replay what happened for his 2016 team, and take a look forward to recruiting and into the future. Coach Rocky Long standing by on the Corky's hotline and returning to the Scott and BR Show. Hi, Coach.
Hi, guys. How are you?
What's say, partner?
Hey, yeah, we're partners now, huh?
Darn right
I see how
we
you are.
Darn right we're partners. Right, after our terrific win up there in Las Vegas, we are partners, buddy.
I figured that. I figured that would happen.
Coach, I'm curious to hear what you think. When the first quarter was happening and it looked like, this is on TV, I was like, it's as if Houston is bigger and faster, and I started to think to myself, maybe this is the Texas high school football thing versus the California. I wasn't really sure what was going on, and I kept hearing you say, well, we lost games because our offensive and defensive lines didn't get it done. They were dominating in the first quarter. What changed?
Well, on offense, I don't think our offensive linemen were ready for the kind of quickness that they displayed up front because they're great, big, good-looking guys. And then we always tried to chip block, so to speak, where we put two guys on one, but one guy always leaves quickly to try to get to the second level. And when we were leaving the one guy to get to the second level to the linebackers, that guy was too good for us to cut off, and they were making tackles in the backfield. I was a little concerned with that, obviously, because they tackled us the first 5 or 6 times about 3 yards deep. But on defense, I actually was kind of confident because they drove the ball a little bit, but we made them kick a field goal. And they drove the ball again and scored a touchdown, but we had a young DB in there that should have made the play. It was an easy play. He didn't make the play. And I thought we were just as fast and quick as they were on offense, our defense was. So I thought the defense was going to play good enough to keep it close enough if our offense got on track. And then I thought the coaches did a nice job on the sideline. Basically, we started double-teaming the D linemen and let our running backs go one-on-one against the linebackers, which didn't work a lot of the time, but it worked enough for us to win.
Yeah, I thought that Nico Saragusa, they were focusing in on him. Brent Musburger saying, hey, he's an All-American. And then across from him was a true freshman defensive lineman that apparently had a great year. And they show this kid blowing by Nico. I'm going, oh, man, this is not going to go well. But the adjustments that were made and what happened thereafter was really impressive.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I think our players, that's the best. Obviously, that was the best team that we had played all year, physically and probably national recognition-wise. I mean, they beat the two top 10 teams during the year, and they're very athletic and all that. But our players, I thought, went in with confidence, and it's an interesting thing. When things start going right, all of a sudden you start playing better. And as they put it, it was like piranhas. Once we figured we had them, the defense went after them like they were nothing. So that was fun to be around.
Yeah, and Rocky, it's kind of early in a game to kind of change your approach. And so you called the offensive line up and said, let's hold on to the double teams for a little bit longer. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, they were going to hold the double team until they sure the running backs were past them, and then try to go to the next level, but at least get us 2 or 3 yards deep in the secondary so we had a chance. I mean, the poor running backs didn't even have a chance at the start of the game, and that put them one-on-one against linebackers and safeties. And as we all know, every once in a while, DJ and those guys are going to make those guys miss, and we're going to get some big gains.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. We're talking to Rocky Long about the Las Vegas Bowl, and things did not look good in the first quarter. DJ Pumphrey, I don't remember the exact stat, but he may have had -4 yards rushing on like 6 or 7 or 8 carries. I mean, for all of us thinking about him breaking this record, in the first quarter, things didn't look good. At what point did you know, though, Coach, okay, we got to stick with the plan. It's eventually going to work, and it did. But at what point during the game did you say, okay, things are changing?
Well, I thought we kind of stemmed the tide in the start of the second quarter, and I thought it was a very even game. The second quarter was very even. We went in behind 10-6, but in the locker room, our players were excited. They were, itching to go back out in the second half. The defensive guys wanted a piece of them. And so I think that we went out there with a lot of confidence, and when things went right early in the second half, it turned out to be a lot of fun. And when we stopped them on fourth down and scored the very first play after we stopped them on fourth down, I knew it was over because you could see it in their body language.
Yeah. Yeah, and you say it was like a bunch of piranhas. That defense went to work.
They did.
And they were all over that quarterback. They hit him play after play. And then, of course, the highlight of the game, Coach, is DJ ultimately getting the all-time record. Take us through what happened on that play and your reaction thereafter.
Well, first of all, I didn't know that broke the record until I saw everybody go crazy on the sideline. But, I mean, he had a play that was supposed to go up inside, and being the kind of running back he is, it was kind of plugged up in there, and he popped it to the outside and was able to outrun the guys on the corner and got, I think, 15 or 16-yard gain before he got run out of bounds. And I was a little nervous because after he ran out of bounds, he was getting hit on top of the head by our guys, jumped on by our guys. And I said, well, I guess he broke the record. I hope he's okay. But we didn't play him much after that because we had the game kind of under control, and we didn't want to take a chance of him getting hurt for his future career, as well as we didn't want him to maybe lose a yard or two and have to start all over again.
I wondered about why not pile on and add on yardage. I mean, it didn't matter if he broke it by 1 yard or 100 yards, but I wasn't sure if it was, hey, let's protect the kid now, and he's gotten out of the game healthy. He got the record. We're in control of the game. The other part of it was that Rashad Penny, who was a 1,000-plus yard rusher, had lost some yardage. So did you know that he was under the 1,000-yard threshold?
Yeah, I hate to admit all this, but because the number one goal was to win the game, but obviously we were tracking the yardage by both of them on the sidelines, and it was important to get DJ the record, but it was kind of important to all of us to be the first team ever to have a 2,000-yard rusher and a 1,000-yard rusher. So I'm glad it was a bowl game because then I'd feel really bad thinking that way. But since it was a bowl game, it was okay. I mean, we wanted to do all that. And we got it all done, so it was kind of a great day.
Wow. Yeah, it really was a great day.
God.
You know what made it even better? Not only does DJ break the record, not only does Rashad have the 1,000 yards, but there was a lot of criticism this year of Christian Chapman. And I think that what people don't understand is you're a running football team. He's not passing the ball 30 or 40 times a game. Nobody's counting on him to really win the game. They don't want him to lose the game. I thought Chapman played pretty well, Coach. What's your expectation for him as he goes into his final 2 years of eligibility?
Well, first of all, I agree with you. I thought he played really, really well. And I hate this word, but I hear people say it. He's a game manager. He's not a guy that's going to win it. Well, guess what? Next year we don't have the same offensive line. We have potential in the offensive line, but they're all going to be young guys. We've got some really good running backs, but if the offensive line's not quite as good this year as it will be the year after and the year after that, we're going to have to throw it more. And so we're going to have to expect him to play better. We're going to put more pressure on him to get, we're probably going to, instead of throwing it 15 times, we're going to have to throw it 25 or 30. And he's going to have to be able to read coverages and put the ball on the money. And then in that same sense, our receivers are going to have to get better. They did a great job this year blocking, but they're going to have to go and out jump some people for a ball, and they're going to have to score some touchdowns by outrunning somebody. And so the offense will have to change a little bit because we're going to be so young in the offensive line.
He really looks, though, like he has a lot of athleticism and escapability, throws the ball well on the run. I'll be curious to see what happens when Christian Chapman gets a chance to be the leader of the offense, not just the manager of the offense. I'm looking forward to watching that development. I'll tell you the other thing, Coach, looking forward to this new schedule that is much better at home next year when you've got a Boise State. And I don't remember if it's Arizona State or Stanford, but those two teams are on the schedule next year. One of them will be here at Qualcomm. The schedule gets so much better. Things are going to be, I would say, going forward, much more exciting locally than they have been, compliments of the scheduling. What do you think?
I think exactly. I think that Jim Sturk had a great plan, and what we got done was we have for the next 5 years, we have two Pac-12 teams. One's at home, one's on the road, and then it's vice versa the next year. We do have Stanford at home next year, Arizona State on the road, and then they flip the year after that. I think it's good for the program. I'm a little nervous because we're going to be so young next year, but I think we're competitive, and you can't beat those boys unless you got them on the schedule. So we got them on the schedule for the next 5 years. So along the way, we're going to beat some of them. We're not going to beat them all, but we're going to beat some of them. And if you can beat some of them, it kind of tells everybody else in the country, guess what, we belong. And that's what we want to be. We want to be a team that they consider one of them.
But that's if you beat them. And as you know, Coach, there's a tremendous amount of pressure on you now because there is one particular local columnist who still calls for your head because you have not yet beat the big boys. And even though Houston beat Oklahoma or beat Louisville when they were both in the top 5 and you guys destroyed Houston, that was not enough. Listen, to me, you're lucky to still have your job as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I thought you were my partner.
We are partners.
Okay, but so if I go, you go.
Well, that's right. But the good
way it works.
The good news is J.D. Wicker doesn't have anywhere near enough clout to fire us. Not yet.
Well, right now that's true. Yeah, that's true right now.
Not yet. We own that guy. He works for us. Wicker works for us. Coach, we did talk.
Keep it that way.
We did talk to JD though yesterday, and he said that he plans to talk to you about a contract extension. What do you have left, and what are you open to?
Well, I have 1 year left, but the extension I think is important for the program. I think it's important that there's some security. The kids we're recruiting this year that they're going to have the same coaching staff. I think it's if we didn't have that kind of security, I think it would really hurt recruiting. I think we're going in the right direction. I think there's going to be some ups and downs along the way, but I think we're going in the right direction. And so for the good of the program, I need an extension. It's not for me. I'm at an age right now that an extended contract is no big deal to me, but it is for the program's sake.
Well, right.
And
I mean, you walk into a kid's house and dad says to you, well, Rock, you got 1 year left, or, you've got 2 years left. I want to know that you're going to be there. And if you don't have a 4-year extension where a family can feel like you're going to take care of their kid for the next 4 or 5 years, that could impact some people's decisions.
Oh, certainly. And I think that's what we're talking about. I think we're talking about making sure I have 5 or 6 years left on my contract. And, I get into this all the time because people ask me, I'm paid really, really well. Maybe not by the standards across the country, but I'm paid really, really well. And I never thought I was going to make this kind of money. So I don't need a improved salary.
Coach, stop. Please stop. You're ruining our leverage. Please. You're killing us right now, Coach.
Well, let's get it for the assistant coaches so we don't lose any of those guys since they did such a good job.
Let me get this straight. Nice. Hold on. Let me understand this. If hypothetically they came to you and said, Coach, we want to do a 5-year extension and we want to take your salary from X to X plus Y, are you suggesting that you might say to the university, keep my salary at X, maybe give me a little lifestyle bump every year, a little inflation bump.
Just a bump.
But instead of that big number that you're talking about, distribute that amongst assistant coaches. I'm fine the way I am. Are you saying that?
I've already said that.
Billy Ray's sitting here shaking his head no. Billy Ray's saying no.
No, he's not saying that.
He is saying that.
I've already said that to the people in charge.
No, that's great.
So you want more money, but not for you, for your assistants?
No, I want it for the assistants so we don't lose them to the boys that are going to come after them, because when you have the kind of success we did this year, there's people think we have a secret. We have no secrets, but people think you do, so they're going to come and try to raid us.
This is amazing. You're unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Man, selfless. All about the assistant coaches.
That's not necessarily true, but
well, but still, I mean, you could be going into them right now saying, look, comparatively speaking, look, I don't expect Nick Saban money. I don't expect Jim Harbaugh money, but I would bet you that you could probably get $1.5 million, $1.6 million a year. I mean, I'm just taking a guess. Maybe that's a little rich for San Diego State, but still, you could be making double what you're making right now. And yet you want the extra money for your assistants.
Yeah, for sure. They need it more than I do. I'm on the back end of this deal.
Nice.
Wow.
Coach, what's up?
That's great.
What's up with recruiting? How are we doing out there?
Right now we're doing good. We have we think we're going to have 23 spots. That might jump up to 24 or 5 if we have some kids that don't think they're going to play here or unhappy with their playing time. They might transfer. But right now we have 23 scholarships available. We have 18 commitments. I think the way we ended the season, those commitments will stay strong. So we're way ahead of where we've been in the past. And we've actually got some commitments from guys that are still getting recruited by Power 5 schools that are trying to change their minds. So we're moving in the right direction. Now, like I said, there's going to be some ups and downs as we go. But sooner or later, we're going to be considered one of the top 4 or 5 non-Power 5 teams in the country.
Beautiful.
Oh, man.
Coach, congratulations on a phenomenal year.
Way to go, Rock.
I mean, to finish the way you did, the loss at Wyoming, the loss at home against Colorado State where you're blown out, then to turn it around and figure out a way to win at Wyoming and then destroy Houston in the Las Vegas Bowl on ABC, not on ESPN, on national TV, ABC. It was an incredible finish to the year. And it's one of these seasons we might look back on as Aztecs fans and go, oh, South Alabama got us, But
that's where it all started.
But in
right
the
there.
end, it was great. It was really a phenomenal year. Coach, congratulations to you, your team. Happy holidays to everybody within your family, your extended family, the coaching staff, et cetera. We really do appreciate you, Coach.
Thanks, Rock.
Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate you guys no matter what they say.
What do you mean, who? No matter who says. Listen, you're all right by me no matter what Kevin Acey says about you.
Okay. I appreciate it, guys.
Later.
See ya.
Later, partner.
Partner.
Love Rocky Long. 5:20 in the afternoon coming up.